Hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about function notation, which is going to be completely new to probably most of you, but I think it's a really fun topic to learn. And this is going to be something that we're going to be using for the rest of the year. So just to go over some vocabulary, the notation f of x, called function notation, is just another name for y. And so now we're going to see equations that look like this, which may look a little funny to you guys. But here, we'll go ahead and just break it down. So this f that we see, parentheses, x parentheses, how we read that is we're going to read that as f of x. That is how you say that, f of x. And so f, well, that is not going to be a variable in this case, as we're used to it being. What that is really saying is that that is the name of the function. So it's just a way to identify it. When we go later on in these notes, we'll have several different functions, and so the way that we can identify them is by this letter out in front. So this is just the function f. Now the x in here, that tells you what to plug into the function. In other words, it's going to be our input, like we talked about earlier this unit. And now this last part here, that's just going to be the function. And so it may look a little funny at first, but it's really no different. This is really just y right here. So again, that's just another name for y. What's special about this though is it tells us what we're plugging in to this thing. So let's say, let's not use numbers. Let's say I had, I don't know, f of heart is equal to heart squared plus 2 heart plus 3. Okay, let's change so this is my function here, heart squared plus 2 heart plus 3. My function is f, and what I put into my function was heart. Well, now let's change that. Let's say I am going to input star now. Well, what happens when I input star? Well, everywhere that was a heart, I'm now going to put star instead. Okay, let's keep going. Well, how about smiley face? Well, my function again is this, but now my input is smiley face. So now everywhere I see a star, I'm instead putting smiley face. But now what we're really going to be doing is with numbers. So like, let's say I had f of 3. Now this is telling me that I am inputting 3 into my function instead now. So now instead of where those smiley faces are, I'm going to have a 3 squared plus 2 times 3, since these are right next to each other, plus 3. And then I'd be able to simplify it from there. And what's coming out here is really just our output. And so if I were to simplify this, 3 squared is 9, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3. And then 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 plus 3 is 18. And so 3 is my input, 18 is my output. 3 is my x, and 18 is my y. And so again, you can think of it as that vending machine example. So my vending machine is the function here. My input is that button I push, and so I push F1 and the function gives me a Snickers bar. I push C3 and my function gives me a Twix. Kind of think of it that way. Okay, that's it for this introduction video. We can go ahead and move on to the next one where we will work with some problems with these functions.